Hi everyone. As a part of continuation on how to become certified system administrator, we'll learn what are UI policies and how to configure UI policies. We'll take incident table as an example here. So let's open incident and let's open any incident record here. UI policies are browser side actions actually. It will work on client side. So UI policies helps us to make any particular field mandatory or read only or visible true or false. For example, here in this form, we have some fields, which is number, user, category, etc. Here you can see there is a star mark, which will show us some information that mandatory. So it is preloaded with save data, as here we have some data here. So these star marks indicate that this field is mandatory. So without any data in this field, we can't submit this form. So this is called mandatory. And you can see here we have a field priority, as it is a we can't edit this. You can see the caution mark here that you can't edit this field. Why? Because it is read only. And you can hide any particular field based on another field condition using UI policies. So we'll take incident as an example here and we'll configure UI policies. So for example, if I remove short description here, as you can see, this star mark is in black in color. When I remove this data in the short description field and click any other side, you can see it turned to red, which means it should be that some data should be given here. Without giving any data in the mandatory field, we can't submit the form. For example, when I try to save this form, an error will throw that the following mandatory fields are not filled in, which is short description. Same applies to caller as well. When I remove this caller data here, user data here, and when I click save, you can see two warning messages you can see here, short description, user, mandatory. So this way we can use UI policies to restrict any field to submit before to make it mandatory or read only or visible true or false. Now I have given user field here and short description. Now this form can be saved. So this way UI policies works on the browser level. So let's configure a UI policy on the incident table. So let's navigate to UI policies. Under system definition, we have UI policy. Under system UI, you have UI policies here. So just navigate to UI policies and let's create a new UI policy here. And condition will be something like, as you can see, we have category field, subcategory field. So category, when we select anything in category, then the subcategory is dependent on that particular category choice. For example, here, when I select inquiry and help, we see antivirus, email, internet application, etc. And we when select software here, we can see these are changing. So these we will learn in upcoming sessions. As of now, we'll set a UI configuration, a UI policy configuration on this field. When category is none, this field should not be visible. Only when we select anything in this field, in the category field, then only subcategory field should be visible. So this way we'll work on that particular UI policy. So let's create a new UI policy. And here table, we should have to select incident table as we are configuring UI policy on the incident table. So just select incident table here. Select incident. And short description helps us to identify what the UI policy is actually doing. So we can mention hide. Whatever we are doing in this, we can mention that. So let's say hide subcategory if category is none. So that if category is none, then this UI policy will be executed. So here we have to select the conditions. As we are selecting condition as category is none. So the same way we have to filter that condition here. So just select category is none. Is none. As you can see, all the options is available. So only we have to select none and we have to make subcategory field hide. So just save this UI policy first. Now the UI policy study. In according to make this subcategory field visible false, to hide this, we need to mention a UI policy action under UI policy. So under UI policy, we have another related list table, UI policy actions. Here we can create the UI policy action, which will helps us to hide this subcategory field based on UI policy. The condition is category is none. So under UI policy action, we have to select new, and here we have to select the field which we want to hide. So we have to select subcategory here and visible true or false, we need to hide it. So just select false. Visible false means this will be hidden when category is none. So just save it. Just submit it and just navigate to incident. Let's open a new record and just check how it is working. If category is none, then subcategory field will be hidden. As you can see, subcategory field is not available here. And when you select category, anything in category, so the condition will become false. The category is none condition will become false and subcategory field will be visible. So when you select any other thing, it will remains there on the form. And when you select none, it will hidden. So this way UI policy work on visible true or false. Then when we select anything in the category, for example, we are making subcategory field visible based on category field. When any choice is selected under category, then this subcategory field will be visible. But we can select anything, or we cannot select. We need not to select anything, as it is not mandatory. But we'll make a UI policy here stating that when we select anything in the category, subcategory field should be visible as well as it should be mandatory. So something should be selected in the subcategory. So this way, this example will work. This is the example use case. So already we have done category is none. So visible false, hide the subcategory field. Same way, just create another. We need not to create any another UI policy action. Already we have here. Just edit the same. Just open that subcategory field, UI policy action, and make it mandatory false. So that when it is visible true, the mandatory will be automatically true. So just make mandatory false and update it and just reload the form. So what will happen now is when the policy executes, that condition is executes, the field will be hidden and mandatory false. But when something is selected in that, the subcategory field will be visible and mandatory as well. Just select anything, any data in the category field. See, as you can see, this field is mandatory. So when the category is none, that field will be hidden and the mandatory will be go false. And when something is selected in the category, the subcategory will be visible as well as we have to select any particular thing as this is a mandatory field. Now, let's create another UI policy stating that when, let's take another use case here. Example, when state changes to in progress, when I click state to in progress, assignment group should be mandatory. Okay, so let's say in progress, when I change state to in progress, this is a one condition. Okay, in any other states, nothing should happen. But when I select in progress, assignment group should be mandatory. So let's create another UI policy here. So just navigate to UI policies again. Under system UI, you have UI policies. Just create a new UI policy. Select incident table here. So for each condition, you need to specify one new UI policy. If it is based on different fields, so you need to create new UI policy for each field. If the conditions are different. So let's state that make assignment group mandatory if short description is, sorry, it's not short description, it's state is in progress. Okay, so here just select state field as in progress. So just first save the UI policy. Now, as we have discussed earlier, we need to create a UI policy action under the UI policy to execute what we need. So here we are making assignment group as mandatory. So when we select assignment group here and make it mandatory true. Okay, so now how it will work as, just see. When I select state as in progress, the assignment group will become mandatory. See, in progress. As you can see, the field became mandatory and it won't become mandatory in any other state. It will become false in any other state. When we select, it will become false. As you can see, no other state makes mandatory field as assignment group as mandatory. When only select in progress, then it will become mandatory. This way it will work. Now we'll take another example to become to make any field read only. Okay, as we have discussed, we can make any field read only using UI policies as well. So let's say when I select channel as phone or anything, when channel is chat, let's say when channel is chat, just make, this is an example, so just make uh, when channel is start, just make description field as read only. It is not required, but for how it is working, I want to show. So just when channel is start, just make description as read only. Okay. So let's go back to the same UI policy and just edit this. So the table remains same, and just change the short description here. If channel is chat, make description read only. Okay, so here we need to change the condition as channel is chat, as here mentioning the same. Okay, so first we need to save the condition here, channel is chat. We'll make we'll do one thing, we'll make impact field as read only. Okay, nothing we need to do with this is just an example use case. So we are making impact field as read only. So just edit the same field in the UI policy action. So just select impact field here and make it read only true, and just update it. Okay, so once it is saved, just go back to the form, reload, and check how it is behaving. See, when impact is, now it is editable, and when we select anything in the channel other than chat, we select anything, it will remains editable, but when we select chat option here, it will become read only. As you can see, we can't edit this now. When we select none, it is editable. When chat is selected, it is editable. Okay, so this way we can use UI policies and UI policy actions to make any particular field read only, visible true or false, or mandatory true or false based on conditions or unconditional. So in our upcoming videos, we'll learn more scenarios on UI policies as well as client scripts. So keep watching and save this playlist to how to become certified system administrator. Okay, thank you.